Hey, everybody. This is Shane Magallanes again, your president-elect for the Iowa Association of Realtors. Welcome to our 2023 Convention Speaker Interview Series. In this series, we're sitting down and chatting with a bunch of our amazing speakers we have lined up for convention next month. Today, we're excited to be joined by Michael Thorne. Michael has more than 3 decades of real estate experience and has built a flourishing career as an agent, mentor, and coach. He's well known for his ability to elevate brand and business through video marketing, telling the stories of real estate to communicate to communities far and wide. Recently, he stepped into the world of artificial intelligence. Ooh, I assume that doesn't mean you're a robot, right? You are
No,
just
not yet.
Artificial intelligence.
Not yet.
Okay.
I've signed up.
So he's harnessing this new power and technology to transform the real estate sector. By the way, I didn't write any of this, so it sounds way more professional and impressive than if I had written it. Michael's going to be a very familiar face at convention. He's giving a keynote address with his friend Jesse Peters, but he's also going to do a couple individual sessions as well. So thank you very much for joining us today, Michael.
Thanks, Shaner.
As I think you know, we are going to have a couple sort of serious questions and then a couple less than serious questions, shall we say. So let's just jump into artificial intelligence. Seems to be the hottest topic in real estate currently. I certainly get those questions all the time. So your sessions are going to help members find the value of artificial intelligence and maybe erase their hesitation in using such technology.
Yeah.
So just tell us a little bit about why you think this is important for the growth of our businesses and in the real estate industry in particular.
Well, I think it's a change in our society that's not just specifically about the real estate industry. There's huge wins for us as realtors within this new technology, but where we are is 1995 internet, and it changed the real estate industry so dramatically. I remember when I first time I saw a realtor take more than one photo of a house, it confused me. I'm like, why would you ever do that? But that's the internet, and it has had such a massive impact on our industry and on society. We're touched by the internet every 10 minutes of our lives. And where we are right now with AI is right there in 1995. The thing that I have noticed, however, being deep down the rabbit hole over the last 8-9 months, is it's moving at a much quicker pace than the internet did. We're already in 1998, 1999 in terms of where we were with the internet when it comes to AI. And the upside of leveraging AI in the right way is incredible. The downside of leveraging it wrong is enormous, and also the peril of ignoring it altogether is something that agents just can't do. So there's one way forward, I think, is leveraging it in the right way. Leveraging it in the wrong way, I think, is going to only create more disconnect between you and the consumer. And then ignoring it is like ignoring the internet. There's no agents out there that are successful today that have ignored the internet. So that's what we're going to really dig into. Okay.
Well, I feel guilty already because I've mostly managed to ignore AI so far in my real estate business. So maybe you'll get me out of that shell. So this is kind of similar to the first question, I guess, in a way, but maybe a deeper dive a little bit. Obviously, as you touched on, new technology in general can be intimidating to some people, realtors included, and artificial intelligence definitely seems to be in that same vein. So what do you hope specifically that members can gain from your sessions? What can they walk away from with?
Well, in the first session, we're going to dig into what it is, the opportunities that presents for agents to leverage it in their business. And then the second session, we're actually going to dig into the nuts and bolts. Here's how you can apply it today into your business. One of the key parts about AI is that a report came out of MIT, and then it found that in most cases, people used it, were able to reduce time on task by 80% and increase quality on task by 40%.
Wow.
And so here's where the win comes. If you're able to do certain tasks in your business at a much quicker rate with higher quality, it frees you up to be more human with your consumer. I'm not advocating for agents to put AI between them and the consumer. I'm advocating for agents to put AI behind them, to make them more efficient, to make their quality output better, so that they can sit across the table at a coffee shop and be more human. And I think that's where people are going to win. I think as AI takes over or takes over, becomes more integrated in our society, human touch will actually be more valuable because there'll be less of it. And even when we're talking about Jesse and video, that's the same thing. The opportunity now to create meaningful, engaging moments with our consumers will have more value and more importance. So that's where I really want to take people. I want to show people how magical it is to do a lot of your tasks during the day, so that we can go out and deepen these relationships and build a really amazing real estate business.
That's a great way to look at it, and a great teaser. We don't want to give away too much in these videos because we want people to come to the convention. Okay, so let's ask a couple off the wall kind of questions.
Yep.
So I'm sure, like most people, it's been on your bucket list to come to Iowa pretty much your whole adult life. So you're finally going to be able to achieve that, and you're only going to be there for a short time. But is there anything you absolutely want to do while you're in Des Moines?
Well, after we confirmed that we were coming to Iowa, Jesse and I, it took me about 5 minutes to get on the Google machine to try to find out how far away the Field of Dreams was from Des Moines. I find out that's about 4.5 hours away, somewhere like that. So that might not happen on the bucket list, as I'm a big baseball guy. Yeah. So then I go online and I look at the schedule of the Iowa Cubs. Their season comes to an end mid-September. So those were my plans. Those definitely
strike number 2.
Exactly. I'll find something. But Shane, you and I spoke the other day, and I did tell you that Iowa's one of the remaining 5 states I haven't been to. So I'm excited to come by and
so that in and of itself would be a bucket
exactly
list item,
just being there. Yeah, just being there.
That's
checks
awesome.
Off the list.
Okay, so the other off the wall question is, a lot of people have an irrational fear. If you have one, what is yours?
It's not taken over my life, but it's a big part of my life. I have a crazy irrational fear of frogs. And I know my buddy Jesse has another reptile-based fear, but to a point that it's so ingrained in my friendships and my relationships with other people that I will come home and there will be a frog calendar on my front doorstep. Or after a house party, there'll be a frog sticker just on my fridge that I discover the next morning while making breakfast. Or there'll be a lawn ornament, a frog lawn. It's become this thing where people know that I react to it, so they give me cards. It's just become, and here I am talking about it, which only encourages more people to take on seeing in first person my irrational fear of frogs. But I don't do frogs of any size.
Well, this is very interesting. So there'll be snakes and frogs in abundance for you and Jesse.
Yeah, I'm glad we've shown our cards to you, Shaner. It's really not very smart on our behalf.
Well, all right. Well, on that note, we could probably talk all day, but we try to keep these fairly short. So we're certainly looking forward to seeing you in Des Moines next month. And for everybody tuning in here, don't forget the annual convention is scheduled for September 26th through 28th in downtown Des Moines. We've got some great days lined up with awesome speakers, activities, fun stuff, education, all of that. So we can't wait to see you all there.